Welcome to Hoya Hospitality. My name is Natalie, and we are going to talk about mealybugs today. I went on a little midnight adventure to collect some of these plants and some, of course, as you can imagine, Hoyas. We will be discussing how to treat and to take care of these plants before I put them into my greenhouse cabinets. So first we're going to look under the leaves and make sure that there are no mealybugs, which are little white bugs that are in the crevices and in the nook and crannies of the plants, usually between the stem and the leaves. I also, when I get new plants, take off all of the dead foliage and any of the plant areas that have problems, I would say. After inspecting all of these plant cuttings and rooted cuttings, they looked fine, so I'm just going to put them back in. These are all different Transcantia. Here is a Hoya carnosa queen. You can tell that it's a queen because the white variegation is on the outer ring of the leaf instead of the center, which is what those are princesses. Another Transcantia. This plant in this blue pot is a mini monstera, and it looks to be clean and clear of any mealybugs. These are hen and chicks. This is a Rex begonia, and if there's any damaged leaves, I usually just remove those. Like this one, I feel like is a little too far gone. So I'll just simply use my pair of scissors and clip them off here. This is a Syndapsis. This is another pot of hen and chicks. These look pretty good, honestly. I don't think I need to do any inspection of them quite yet. I got this big Hoya australis here, and I really like this one because of their the way the leaves have formed. As you can see here, it's very different than a traditional Hoya australis, so it really made me interested in it. As I was inspecting it, I noticed that there are mealybugs in the crevices here. And I will also cut any of the Hoyas that are branches that are dead. Most of the time, if leaves fall off or anything, I will leave them be because Hoyas grow from nodes and they will just continue growing. But if it's clearly dead, just let the plant have the energy to grow more leaves rather than focus on putting it into that dead area, like these ends here. As you can see here that it's dead. Just clip that off. I really, again, like this plant here because of the shape of the leaves and this crinkling. I thought it was very interesting. And can you believe it? I bought this plant for $12 because it was on clearance. And sometimes people say don't get the clearance plant, but if it just has mealybugs or like
Something that you can manage.
something that can be managed, I think it's worth spending that $12 so that you can get a big plant like this and, you know, be able to enjoy it. I'll pick out all of the weeds that are on this in this plant here.
Hey babe,
Yes.
bad news.
What?
String of needles has mealy bugs.
Okay. What do you mean string of needles? There's not a string of needles over there?
Yeah, string of needles has mealy bugs really badly. So I'm gonna take it upstairs. And this guy right here, whatever it is, has mealy bugs too.
My Hoya carnosa?
Yeah.
Like one of my favorites?
You're right. So, you know, that's why you should be checking your plants constantly so you can catch it early.
As you can hear, Michael was mentioning in the background that you should be constantly checking your plants and making sure that you are on top of it and are able to see when a plant has a issue, a pest issue, a fungal issue, so that you can take care of it and make sure that it goes back to a healthy habitat.
Yeah, you just gotta take care of it before it explodes because once it explodes, it's a lot more difficult to treat.
So this is the Hoya Queen, Carnosa Queen. It has mealy bugs and to the point where it has sap leaking from it. I also take off any damaged leaves that are, I feel, too far gone from X, Y, or Z. So that it has the opportunity to grow and put energy into something else. Because, you know, the whole reason why people collect Hoyas, or not the whole reason, but we collect Hoyas so that we can eventually get flowers, and because we all want that Hoya flower.
Oh, it's beautiful.
A peduncle. Yes, a peduncle. And then I remove any dead foliage from near the basin.
Mm-hmm.
And then I try to untangle it, try to make it do its thing. But Hoyas are very hardy plants, so this one is especially firm and doesn't want to move at all when I am moving it around. And I know that this one is very, very root bound. The previous owners said that she'd had it for 2 years, and I believe it. It's very root bound, which is good because Hoyas like to be root bound, but they don't really like wet feet. So I might end up repotting that, and so I might do that in the next video or another video. I think that I am happy with that. I might just cut some of these leaves off because they're just a little too far damaged. I should mention these are my Falco 9s that I've had for the last 2 years, and I would say I definitely love them. They do a really great job. The only thing with them is maintenance. But with everything, there's maintenance. Make cuts and edits to it until I'm happy with it. It's really up to each individual how much they want to take off or leave on, of course. Okay, and this is a Carnosa, Hoya Carnosa princess. You can see that it's a princess from the variegation not being on the outer rim but on the inner rim. I shouldn't say rim, on the outer, in the inner, not the outer. This one I'm gonna have to remove more of the leaves, which is sad, but part of the process so that it can focus on the other leaves and plants. Because you can see here, I'll show you a close-up, that there's areas that have gotten burned because of the mealy bugs attacking just that area or crevice. I hope that you can see that in that video, or this video.
When you take plants inside, they're just very prone to disease and pests, mostly because you eliminate their predators, aka like a lot of ladybugs.
So I was going to talk about that in this video, is that one of the ways to handle mealy bugs is to add predators to your environment. And I understand that not everybody wants a ladybug or an insect in their home, but when you have a lot of plants, it's kind of part of the symbiosis of living and of nature, that there are bugs. And so I have personally in the past added ladybugs to my greenhouse environment. This one is very tight and is quite infested with mealybugs, which is okay. I think that's all of the dead foliage that I want to remove from this pot. I think I can keep finicking with this thing, honestly, for hours, but I just want to get. So that's the first step, is removing all the dead foliage, all the ones that are too far gone, so that your plant can focus its energy on other things and other new leaves, because Hoyas grow from their nodes, and if you just cut off a leaf, it'll just grow back a new leaf on that node, fortunately, which is, I think, one of the reasons why I really do like Hoyas, because they basically don't skip a beat. Okay. There's that one. There are 4 different types of treatments that we can use for treatment of mealybugs, besides the predator bugs such as the ladybugs or the
add about 1 tablespoon of soap detergent and fill the rest of the bottle with water. That'd be easiest, dude.
1 to 2 teaspoons of dish soap for 25 fluid ounces of water in a spray bottle. And that is the cheapest method, besides just spraying them off with water, which is also something you should do before you bring them in for the winter, or put them into your cabinets. And then the second treatment would be another.
My dish soap is using it in combination with neem oil, and I've had pretty good results with it. And it's just mostly with like hardier plants like hibiscus, and you could use it on Hoyas and other house plants, but it's just a little harsher, and you will probably experience yellowing of the leaves with it and stunted growth because that happens to the hibiscus. So I'm pretty sure it happens to the same. It does the exact same thing with houseplants. So I expect some stunted growth, but yeah.
But with neem oil, I would only spray it in the evening time and then wash it off, because if you leave it on the plant in direct sun, it will burn the leaves, and you definitely do not want that on your leaves, because we experienced that when we first started out and didn't know better.
Yeah.
It's part of the learning process. Okay, and then something a little bit better than that is using isopropyl alcohol 70% or less, mixed with a little bit of water to dilute it even more to about 50%. And you can either use a Q-tip and dip it into the solution and then touch it to one of the mealy bugs, and then that will make the mealy bugs turn yellow, and then that will cause them to die. And the fourth one is, and the best one in my personal experience, but it's more the most expensive out of the 4 treatments, is the insecticidal soap. And it's about $10 for a bottle, and you can find it at your local big box store such as Lowe's, Home Depot, and you just simply spray it. I just wanted to thank you guys for coming and watching this video today, and please like and subscribe to Hoya Hospitality, and we'll see you in the next video.